Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Superman Lois Season 4. Today we're going to be breaking down the trailer and talking about some specific bits about the trailer that I didn't necessarily go into too much detail in my trailer breakdown video just the other day. Shout out to everyone who has watched that video. It's actually exploded. We're nearly at about 15,000 views, so thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you guys are ready for much more Superman Lois content as the new season comes. Also remember, the full trailer is going to be released on Saturday, so that is when San Diego Comic-Con is happening. Currently, when I'm recording this video, it's Sunday the 21st, and on Saturday the 27th, we're gonna get so much content because they're doing the Superman Lois Season 4 panel at Comic-Con. Obviously, they're gonna tease a lot there. That's gonna be like a separate video, but then also they'll release a full trailer for Season 4. So really looking forward to all of that, so hopefully you guys stay active over the next week. Obviously we're going to have lots more videos in the meantime, but for now let's get into today's main topic. So first things first, I wanted to put the comparison up on the screen, and I've seen people online say how amazing it is that they're paying homage to the Death of Superman story, and you know, the classic image of Superman's torn apart cape on a wooden branch flying around in the air. That is the iconic shot, right, from the comics. That's the iconic image of the death of Superman. But I really like, and I like that lots of you guys have been pointing out online that they have paid homage to this in a new but creative way. Obviously we had that shot and the poster recently of Superman's torn apart cape that's very similar to that comic book image, but they've been created their own version of this by having his cape float around in space while being very similarly all torn and tattered. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out to do with the trailer. And then the second thing is, people have been commenting online about, you know, this bold storyline that they're starting with. Obviously it starts with the death of Superman, but always the death of Superman is followed by the storyline, the reign of the Supermen. Now, I don't know if they're going to do Reign of Supermen, but I think you guys definitely need to hear this because it is a really intriguing story. It's a big story, especially for, you know, Clark's family, because it has a big effect, right? So when Superman's gone, he's dead, there is a whole bunch of replica Supermans who surface, and so you have the likes of Cyborg Superman who comes about, and that is a big part of the story. But also, John Henry Irons is always in Reign of Superman, as well as Superboy, and that Superboy is actually a clone between Superman and Lex Luthor. I don't think they're going to do that on the show, but the fact that we're expecting Jordan to fully become Superboy in this season, that makes sense. So I reckon, since we have John Henry Irons, since we have a version of Superboy on the show, they're going to do this. And if they do Reign of Superman, they're going to be extremely big, especially with all the Superman kind of replicas and people coming about. So they would be like the main superheroes that would be protecting Smallville, Metropolis, and all the places that Superman normally covers. But let's go into the story a little bit to talk about what Reign of Superman is. So 6 months following the death of Superman at the hands of Doomsday, the crime rate in Metropolis has spread, with 4 new controversial Supermen having emerged, and Lois has been investigating the new Supermen by gathering information from different sources. And so that is how the story starts. Now, I think this actually could be going down in Season 4, because we've already brought up the fact that it would be terrible if there was no Tyler for the beginning of the season, right? It would be terrible if there was no Superman, no Clark. Well, you could have him be in the show, but playing these fake versions of Superman. And if there is Cyborg Superman at the start of the season, that could be potentially just played by Clark, and he has, you know, a bunch of CG on him. We've seen Cyborg Superman in Arrowverse before. We've seen him in Supergirl, that was a version of Hank Henshaw. And so this would actually be really intriguing. Now let me know down in the comments below, do you think this is at all possible? Because normally, as I said, Superman is resurrected and returns to a very different kind of looking world, because there are these fake Supermen out there trying to pretend that Superman is back from the dead and they're the real ones. And that's where black suited Superman comes in, because once Clark is actually revived, he suits up in a brand new suit which is black and white. We've seen that before in live action. You saw it in Zack Snyder's Justice League recently, and also he normally sports a mullet. That is pretty common, and I'm not sure if they're going to go full on return of Superman, like if he's gonna have a black suit or anything, but I guess there's always the chance that you could see Tyler like that, and they've definitely teased it because in the trailer they actually changed the Superman Lois logo at the end of it. I mentioned this briefly the other day, but it's in the exact same color scheme, that kind of black, gray, white kind of color scheme, and it is literally the same colors as the Superman costume, so the show is in fact teasing it. I wouldn't expect going into the trailer on Saturday when we get it at Comic-Con, I don't expect to see any proper teasers to do with the return of Superman, but I think mainly in the trailer we're going to see the ramifications of his death. How is it going to affect his family? We've seen briefly in the trailer a few days ago that Lois is devastated and Lex is extremely excited and happy about this new world without Superman. And so what do you guys make of this? I think they're definitely teasing he will be in the black suit. I think it's very likely he will return like that, but I'm not sure exactly how they're going to pull it off, but I do think the Reign of Superman storyline is definitely possible, because I do question if he's out for 3 episodes, how are you going to keep the audience engaged? And I think the way you keep them engaged is by bringing in another version of Superman and have Tyler play that, be like a fake Superman, whether it's Cyborg Superman, whether it's another version. I think you have to do that if Tyler is gone for 3 episodes, and that is because we've only got 10 episodes this season. They don't necessarily have to do it, and maybe they wouldn't have done if they had a longer season, but I think you got to keep people engaged and you got to have Tyler in the show. There is no way that you can't have him in. I did actually mention that maybe they might do some flashbacks and stuff in those episodes where he is gone as Superman. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't want to ramble too much on in regards to that. But I saw another thing online to do with the trailer, which I thought was really interesting. And it's to do with the logos. So previously we talked about this leaked photo. Actually, it was from Bitsy's Instagram. It had a different type of Superman Lois logo, very different from the black and white one that we got in the trailer yesterday, which obviously symbolizes the death of Superman. We actually have this one on the screen right here, which symbolizes something completely different. It symbolizes hope, the return of Superman, and you know, it's literally, the colors are just super bright. So someone actually pointed out online that they could be doing this storyline, and this is because the color scheme matches it. You know, the Superman Lois logo kind of looks a little bit like the sun. It's very golden, and so people made comparisons and they were like, could they be doing DC's 1 million Superman from the comics? So if you guys have never heard of this version of Superman, it's a Superman from the 853rd century who survived by becoming the living extension of the sun. He left Earth somewhere around the late 21st century when everyone he cared about died. He traversed the entire DCU, going beyond time and space, and has been said to have reached as far as heaven and hell themselves. So this is a very different type of Superman, and if I'm being honest, I don't think this is very likely, but the color scheme is very similar, so I see why people are making the comparisons, and the fact that maybe the reason that Clark survives being killed by Doomsday is because of the sun. That's pretty much always a fact, right? Like, because Superman will eventually be regenerated because of his connection with the yellow sun. We all know that Krypton is under a red sun, that's why they didn't have powers. And so could he potentially become a living extension of the sun in Superman Lois, just like they did in this specific storyline, 1 million Superman? You guys are going to have to let me know down in the comments below. Do you think this is at all possible? Do you think the logo represents something to do with that storyline, or do you think it just literally represents, you know, a new tomorrow? Because that's what the colors definitely symbolize to me. Let me know, what do you think about all of this in the comments down below. Let's go on to our final topics. So with the poster being released and also with the trailer being released, people have been talking about it online. This is in regards to the people who have worked on the show. So Greg Berlanti himself said the final season is epic. Everyone shines. So that's an amazing teaser from the creator of the Arrowverse himself. obviously he's excited, although probably bittersweet as well for him because this is his last Arrowverse show. And so yeah, the final season is epic according to him, and everyone shines. We all know that there is going to be a lot of the returning cast members. They're going to be spread out throughout the entire season, so I think what he's saying is definitely going to be true. And then someone else also commented, that was Douglas Smith. Douglas Smith is actually playing Jimmy Olsen in this season on Superman Lois, and he said super stoked to get to be a part of the last season, and he posted the season 4 poster. And also Emmanuel, who plays Lana Lang in the show, said last and final season, October 17th, so excited for you all to experience this one. And then the last person we have commenting is One Last Ride from Eric Valdez, who plays Kyle on the show, and he puts a couple of hearts and a broken heart. So yeah, it's going to be bittersweet, but I love that they're all interacting and they're all hyped for this final season, because I know us fans are. And let me know how hyped you guys are to see that trailer next Saturday. Let me know down in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.